Everybody, welcome. It is Scott again on Beaty's Beat, and we are just about to get to the center circle for Manchester United against Liverpool. The biggest match of the season, I'm going to say. At least it is the remaining fixtures. Sorry for that. I just dropped something. But anyway, Liverpool have to win our remaining 4 games in the Premier League to get the Champions League for next season. We'll need some help, but it is against our arch rivals. In order to do that, this is by far the most difficult test that we have left on the fixture list, and Liverpool are going to need to put together a run of something that we haven't had all season, which is consistency. I haven't done my homework. Kind of alluded to it on my last stream. I'm not even sure what our longest win streak has been all season, but I would be very surprised if it was 3 or more. But in any case, 1 game at a time, and there was a bit of nonsense outside the stadium. Excuse me while I fix my. Please, everybody, follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch at Beaty's Beat. As I take that away, a lot of stuff happening. And for any of you with me today, please let me know who you are and who you support, and I appreciate the follow. Any talking points that you wish to discuss, I'm happy to chat with you as the game goes on. But let me just bear with me while I set up my clock. Let's do 1:40. And set. So team news is out, or obviously the game is happening. The biggest team news is that Sadio does not get a starting place today for the Reds, who are playing in teal today. Instead, it is Jota, Firmino, and Salah up top. There's a beautiful tribute to a tragic story during the week. A 9-year-old lifelong Liverpool fan, Jordan Banks, was struck by lightning and lost his life. So there was a beautiful gray shirt tribute to the young lad. Oh, and a beautiful ball from Trent to Bobby Firmino, who should have taken it himself. He was through on goal past Eric Bailly, and he tries to center it, but the pass is blocked. Liverpool are remonstrating, coming around the ref, probably for handball. Oh, it's got to be handball. Please view this as VAR. Bailly he comes sliding in. The ball goes underneath him, hits him on the leg, and then his trailing left arm of Bailly is the actual body part that takes it out of bounds. Doesn't look like really anything's being reviewed. The referee, Anthony Taylor, doesn't seem interested, but that actually truly is, regardless of what year it is. I know we're in the year of the handball. I do think that should be a handball really in any era, which is how I like to actually view things. I try to be as unbiased as possible. I mean, that it doesn't, to me, that's a situation where I don't take intent into account, because his body part, sure, yeah, okay, maybe it was in a natural position, but that is the actual body part which, in motion sliding, had a drastic change on the movement of the ball. If his arm didn't hit it, that's going right into Jota's path. So I really do think that that should have been a penalty for Liverpool, but alas, nothing came of the corner, and United are up on the attack, and Cavani puts the header out for a goal kick. This segment on NBC Sports is brought to you by White Claw. That's interesting. I haven't seen that as a corporate sponsor before, and here's another look at the handball incident. I wonder what the discussion will be about that. But again, please do let me know where you're tuning in from across the world. My name is Scott, and I am hosting here from my house in Monmouth County, New Jersey, Jersey Shore. So nice to meet you. For those that I haven't met before, my sponsor is Starbucks today. So as I'm goofing off, looks like we had an Allison moment, but nothing came of it. He's kind of shaking his head in shame now. Phillips played it back to him. He, oh my goodness, passes it to Reese Williams, who again, still getting used to his haircut. He kind of has like the Curtis Jones, like kind of high fade, but then sort of moppy looking top. But the ball was intercepted by Cavani, who, if he just reacted and kicked it first time, he would have, scored an empty net, even if it was just a block. Honestly, he didn't even really need to direct anything, but he did try to settle it and then play it back sort of across his body off balance, and it went out for a goal kick to spare Liverpool's blushes. So definitely a very active and intriguing first 5 minutes. Andy Robbo plays it to Jota. Salah at the top of the box. Thiago tries to play it to Trent, but Pogba heads clear. So yeah, really interesting. Just everything about this game is interesting, at least the way I view it. Man United, obviously not much to play for. As their second place, they lost to Leicester, put out a very conveniently weak lineup against the Foxes when Liverpool really needed their help. But United put out some kid I've never heard of before as a starter, Elanga or something, and so I think Ole was probably smirking to himself that he could ruin Liverpool's day by not beating Leicester, who is in the top 4 race along with us. But the way things have shaped up, even yesterday, Arsenal beating Chelsea really opens the door for Liverpool to again, I don't know if it's 100% accurate to say it's completely in our hands if we win the remaining 4. That's kind of seems to be the case, because Chelsea, as I just said, lost to Arsenal yesterday, and then they play each other. I forget if it's this. Well, Chelsea, Leicester play each other for, I think, the FA Cup final, I think this weekend, and then on Tuesday, the very same fixture in the Premier League, and of course they are 3 and 4 in the league. I think as we start today, Liverpool are 6th, but we have 2 games in hand from most other teams in the Premier League. So if you're unfamiliar with the situation prior to this, I'm probably not explaining it super clearly, but suffice to say that if Liverpool take care of business, then we should be in with a shout for the Champions League. And then it gets even more complicated in that, you got an all-English final in Chelsea and City. And I think United are in the Europa League final. So there's all different kinds of permutations. But as far as where these teams are and their state currently, contextually in this season, I think it's a little bit more straightforward. I think most people would say, oh, Liverpool have had a really turbulent season with injuries, and we haven't quite been ourselves. And what are we going to look like next season? I think you could really ask the same question. Of course, I have my own personal opinions about, who will be the better team next season between Liverpool and Man United. I think Liverpool will really, whatever we do in the offseason, the transfer window, I do think that we will have definitely a more consistent season next season. Here's Bruno Fernandes. Oh, my goodness. And Man United have taken the lead 9 minutes in. Bruno had the ball about 8 yards out on the right-hand side. and he plays an outside of the right foot shot towards the back post. It probably was going in. I'll have to take another look on the replay, but Nat Phillips, hoping to block the shot, shins it right back into his own net. I don't know. That may not have even been going in. I mean, I think it was close enough where you can't fault the defender. It might have just not, it depends on the curl if it would have whipped back inside the post. But in any case, Nat Phillips sensed the danger, obviously, and tried to deal with it, but he just was a second too late. He couldn't catch the ball flat with his shin, and it heads into the back of the net, as I will update the scoreboard for y'all. All right, so Liverpool, as they say, have it all to do. We need at least to score at least 2 goals in order to get a win for today. And I still think we can do it. I mean, Liverpool have started quite strongly. And yeah, I mean, outside of that Firmino little darting forward move, there hasn't been too much. Again, we are only 10 minutes into the game, but I still believe that we can create some chances and hopefully get some goals in order to get the victory. But yeah, I was saying just before that about how these teams are both sort of, I was going to in transition. I think that that's maybe a little harsh on both teams probably, because I do think that these are 2 of the top 3 teams in the league. Chelsea might feel harshly done by that. But I mean, those 4 teams have to be comfortable favorites for top 4 next season. I would really love and also truly expect to see Liverpool as a true title contender next season along with City. I still do not think that any team, it should just be a 2-horse race. I don't think United, again, I've long said that I am not a Solskjaer believer. I don't think he'll ever win a Premier League with United or any other team. I just don't think he's that caliber manager. United fans, sound off if you disagree with me. And Tuchel has been great for Chelsea. People certainly say harsh to say, will it continue? You know, me questioning the sustainability. I mean, he's been there for, honestly, I don't even know what month he came into Chelsea at. Was it October, November, December? So that's certainly been a long time. And, you know, he's had a really unbelievable record since he's come in. Losing to Arsenal just yesterday is a very surprising blip. But taking to the Champions League final, I mean, they rattled off a list of managers that he's beaten since he's been at Chelsea, and it hasn't even been that long. Klopp, Guardiola, Zidane, I think Flick even. So, like, yeah, if you rattled off the best managers in the world, Chelsea have beat them. But anyway, I do think that Chelsea still, on paper, maybe not on paper, but their squad dynamic, despite having put together all those good results since he has come in. I still don't know if they know their team. Is Pulisic a starter? Sorry, I just listened to a podcast. I don't normally say Pulisic. I say Pulisic. But is he a starter? You know, what is going on with Werner? Is Havertz, I think he's coming into form, which I'm kind of happy to see. I kind of feel like Havertz is one of those players that when he's playing well, everybody enjoys to see him play. Or at least, I mean, that's really potential wise. I obviously won't claim to have been a Leverkusen fan, but anyway, Yeah, so back to United, what they'll be doing this off season. I think a lot of people expect Paul Pogba not to be there past this season. Where will he go? Where can he even go? I think Paris, I mean, usually is just the purported destination for just about everybody that's sort of in that bracket, especially those like golden cage type players that make so much salary. And Real Madrid and Barcelona are not really swimming in cash these days. So it'll be interesting to kind of see those moves. And I think there'll be a lot of domino effect as well. I think not that there's a salary cap in football, but it's almost similar to American sports with, freeing up cap room. I mean, it's not an instated salary cap, of course, in world football, but I do think with COVID and just the sheer wages that teams have been shelling out to players, that there's sort of an imputed salary cap. These owners, believe it or not, some of their pockets do end up running dry when it comes to affording players' wages and whatnot. Here's Jota, top of the D, and plays it out to Robertson, who swings the ball in. Can't find anyone on the end of it. It was a good idea. I think just the timing of the runs and the ball in didn't really sync up. But Liverpool definitely going to want to get back in possession. Here they show the goal again. Just an unfortunate spell of play for the Liverpool defense. And Alisson looks particularly frustrated with that one. But anyway, of course, there was more drama and unrest. Oh, Cavani chests it on the left sideline and tries to bicycle it up his end of the field and ended up bicycling it perfectly horizontally towards the top of his own penalty area. That could have been way more embarrassing of a missed kick. But United deal with it, and Liverpool are now in possession. What was I saying? Oh, so yeah, before the game, you had United fans. Very interesting pregame. I did tweet out at the Premier League, get it together. The product being exported from the Premier League, I feel like the quality of it has diminished in the past 18 to 24 months. Sure, there's been COVID, but I think a lot of these things go beyond that. I think the refereeing, the announcing has been terrible. VAR, obviously. Here's again Robertson crossing it in, and Dean Henderson. Robertson was adjudged to be offside there. But yeah, and then to throw an added interesting conundrum that I've never considered before is actually blocking a bus, not near the stadium necessarily, but in the traffic flow towards the stadium. And it seemed as though United fans were able to, just pedestrians, cause a roadblock for the Liverpool team bus. It ended up coming out about 15 minutes thereafter that there were decoy buses this time. Very interesting. So I guess you have to say bravo to the clubs or the Premier League, whoever came up with that scheme. I guess they had anticipated / heard maybe on the forums that the fans were going to continue on from their protest that caused this game to be rescheduled in the first place about 10, 11 days ago. And so anyway, they were able to, but it had me questioning, why is there not a police escort for the bus, obviously with all the trouble and whatnot. And but anyway, thankfully this game has been able to get underway. Pogba on the left-hand side plays a driven ball across the ground into Rashford, who sort of leaves it for Cavani, but the cross kind of goes nowhere. United still in possession though here, 19 minutes in. And but anyway, yeah, so there was some trouble. I'm just going to text my buddy Lee back, wants to know what happened during the game. Nat Phillips shinned it in on a Bruno shot. Anyway, so yeah, I touched on this last time about the protests that United staged. I mean, the sentiment of it, I can get behind. I can understand that fans want the Glazers out. That's fine. I would just strongly urge the leaders, the organizers of this protest to be way more organized, because I do think that the way that they're coming across, at least what's being covered in the media, is just a lot of nonsense, a lot of fanfare, a lot of fans wanting to be seen on TV doing bicycle kicks and singing songs and letting air out of the Liverpool bus's tires. I mean, again, honestly, fans, you really gotta, while you're doing this criminal activity, at least make it count for something. At least do what you're there to do, which is to raise awareness and attention on your cause. If you're going to, be arrested for letting air out of the tires to the Liverpool bus, is that really accomplishing your goal? I don't think so. And also singing their typical sign on parody of the Liverpool "You'll Never Walk Alone" is really just not in the best taste of all days to be singing that song. Sing it any other day, but as the words go, and you'll sign on and you'll never get a job, kind of making light of people in would-be poverty-stricken situations is probably not the best day to be doing it when you are calling for the head of your rich owner who is out of touch. So maybe just consider that. But in any way, I'm sure some United fans have told me that that's just a distraction from the actual cause. And sure, you're going to get idiots, but seems like there's more than just a few idiots with that. And also the question about, and then I'll put this to bed, the protest talk. But United had a game on Tuesday. There didn't seem to be any protests then, so it just seems to be anytime there's a Liverpool game that United fans want to protest about their own owners, which seems to have nothing to do with Liverpool in my book. But anyway, back to the game. We've got Thiago in possession, plays it out wide to Mo Salah, who runs into a sea of two United defenders, and a beautiful ball in by Trent, and Diogo Jota had to be a little bit stronger on that. There was a little bit of a pathway as the ball bounced 8 yards from goal, and he just had to kind of scoop it, not even scoop it, just kind of slide it, get any kind of touch on it past the onrushing Henderson, and it would have rolled right into the goal. But I suppose credit to the young goalkeeper, Dean Henderson, for making himself big and blocking that. Here it is again on the replay. Trent and Jota, I'm not saying an easy chance, because he did have Wan-Bissaka on him and Dean Henderson coming out. But if he was just a little bit more precise or even crafty about it, that really has to go down as a pretty big chance for Liverpool, as we'll want to swing the momentum in our direction as early as possible. You really don't, especially with the inconsistency that we've suffered this season, we really don't want to make things hard on ourselves and let time slip away and chances slip away, because we've seen it before with Liverpool this season, that as much as we've been mentality monsters of last season, obviously it's far more difficult to be mentality monsters without many of your key players. But we really have not been those same mentality beasts this year, as we've let leads slip. And I hate to say it, but I have seen belief kind of melt away from the players in certain games. And again, you can't really be all that shocked. I mean, some of these players prior to this season never pulled on the Liverpool shirt. So to expect them to just step into the team and be super confident and be able to, what's the expression, to not shoulder the, what is it? Like shoulder waves of pressure, something to that effect. I don't know. I'm not going to come up with it. But anyway, Liverpool have a corner now. A ball played through on the right-hand side to Salah, and Lindelof was trying to sweep up, but he was only able to get a head on it, and it rolls out for a corner. Could this be a moment for Big Nat Phillips? And the ball falls to Reece Williams, who tries to side foot place it on direction on goal, and Anthony Taylor's given the penalty kick. And that's what I didn't quite get up to, but Reece Williams side foots it, and a United defender pulls his arm together towards his chest, and it hits him in the chest. It is McTominay, and I think he knows it. He really doesn't. He does that sort of like sheepish, like, oh, I don't know what to do with my arm right after I know it hit my arm sort of thing, as he sort of tries to jog out of defense and hide away from the cameras. But, oh, no, maybe it's – I'm not sure. I'm not even sure what they're giving the penalty here for, because or is it even a penalty? Because there's an Eric Bailly challenge at the top of the box, and he takes somebody out. It does look like, yeah, and Phillips' foot is inside the box. So it turns out it's not for the handball. It's actually for the Bailly clearance, which here we are. It's a VAR world we're living in. I've said it before how much I hate this thing. Just trust your gut and just make the call on the field. Personally, I would give the penalty more so for the handball on McTominay, as opposed to this Eric Bailly. Eric Bailly is like kind of lunging at the ball and clearing it. He clearly kicks the ball first, wins the ball, beats Nat Phillips to the ball, and then on his follow through, he makes contact with Phillips in the ankle, and that is what they're going to say is a penalty. I'm wondering. So he takes it back. No penalty. Okay. Very interesting decision. Can't say I'm surprised. Anthony Taylor has not really been Liverpool's friend through the years. Anyway, McTominay, again, I don't really know how you say going like this is a natural position as a defender. Sure, it would have hit his chest, but it didn't. And I was about to say, if it had been given that, again, I think that the first handball in the 4th minute of the game was more of a handball than this one. But nix that whole conversation, because that's not even what it was given for. So Liverpool, Liverpool, which United fans love to joke last season that we had the rub of the green on all the VAR decisions, has clearly not been the case this season, as we get another decision to go against us. Again, no obvious. I don't know if you can say an obvious mistake, but because again, in a vacuum, I don't know if I would say, oh, Eric Bailly, that was definitely a foul. But Anthony Taylor, you gave the foul. Okay, VAR affords you the opportunity to take a look at it again. But I don't think that there's really a lot in the replay that you could say you didn't see in real time. So that's really just a, oops, I made a mistake. And I don't, again, my personal opinion, that's not what VAR is here to do. VAR is, oh, I didn't catch that, let me go correct my decision. But again, Eric Bailly cleared the ball, and then his follow-through caught Nat Phillips, and that's what was given the penalty. So when you look back at the replay, I'm not really sure what Anthony Taylor saw that he didn't see already. So anyway, just super frustrating as a Liverpool fan, because I do think we deserve more from this game. It doesn't mean that penalties should just be handed out to us, but anyway, Liverpool will just have to grit their teeth a bit more. And Eric Bailly is center of both flashpoints in the game. Here's a corner kick to United. Shaw swings it in, and McTominay goes to try to win the header, but is kind of jumping over the Liverpool defender. Oh, and I thought it went out on him, but it is said to go off the Liverpool defender, so we'll have another corner kick. Corner taken short to Bruno, who plays it towards a lofted ball to the back post, and Pogba, whose hair is bleach blonde today, for those of you wondering. Could have been offside, but anyway, the ball goes out for a goal kick, so no need to spend too much time on that. But he tries to oh, and it was given offside. Offside is the ball spotted right at the top of the 6, so basically a goal kick anyway. Pogba's been pretty involved in this game. Not necessarily saying that he's had a great game. He's had some flashes. Again, I'm definitely, the outsider would call me a Pogba hater. I just don't really see what he brings, at least consistently so. I think he's very talented, but I just don't think that he puts it together. Oh, and here Liverpool are on the attack. Firmino tries to square it to Wijnaldum. It's sort of in between Wijnaldum and Robbo. Robbo kind of has to redirect his run and gets the ball. And it goes out wide to Trent, who tries to scoop a pass to somebody, but it deflects off of a United player, and United win it back. What Liverpool are really lacking, which again, I think we knew this, but I think it just bears reminding, is leadership. This is really a game. I mean, the game has been very high intensity. I mean, I think pretty good for the neutral. Honestly, pretty good from Liverpool and United fans, I think, to be honest. Obviously, Liverpool fans won't love the scoreboard, but I don't think you can really fault the performance so far. You really can't say we're lacking in effort, or, of course, we want some more quality out of it. But, oh, and Jota! Jota has a beautiful chance. The ball is out wide left to Robbo, plays a short to feet pass to Jota, who's on top of the 18, kind of scoops it up to himself, and left foot volleys it, and it kind of was right in Henderson's frame, but he does one of those one-handed palming saves and tips it up back for a corner. So Liverpool have a corner. And Robbo swings it in. Henderson comes for it, and it comes to the top of the box. At Salah hits a half volley, kind of goes into a crowd. Oh, and it's got to be a goal. Nat Phillips, the ball's bouncing around. Nat Phillips drops to it, hits it, just tries to lash at it. And Jota, hopefully who will be onside, was right on that last line, and he redirects it in for a goal, hopefully, which will stand as the equalizer. Yep, Nat Phillips, and Jota's well onside. His entire body is the onside side of Wan-Bissaka and Beaty, and he even gets a little bit of a you can't see my entire body. Can I go back here? He gets the through the legs flick. It's a beauty. And Klopp loves it. And Liverpool on the attack again here. And Jota could make it 2-1 before I even changed the scoreboard. He crosses it in. It's cleared by Lindelof. It is Liverpool 1, Manchester United 1. Alrighty. One moment, please. And that just flashed up there. Jota's 9th goal of the season. Love seeing that. I've been sort of behind the scenes critical of Jota recently. Well, behind the scenes, but also on camera. During my watch-alongs, I have been critical of him of just snatching at chances and sort of wanting it a little bit too bad, sort of getting in his own way of trying so desperately to score that he's actually squandering chances. So definitely good to see him find the back end of the net, albeit on an instinctive flash of a chance. Hopefully that'll give him the confidence to, kind of do what he does best and be very direct and take players on as he is right here, top the corner of the 18. Did a little step over and then played Robertson through, who tried to cross, but it gets intercepted by United, and United coming the other way here. Robbo back in possession. Starts dribbling towards the middle of the field, and he's got to be gassed. He just sprinted upfield and then back and then on the ball again and plays it wide to Trent, who he kind of got clattered as well. Speaking of getting clattered, Jota, late challenge by a United player, and Anthony Taylor has nothing to say. Okay, Fabinho plays an unnecessary first-time ball 60 yards in the air to Nat Phillips. And now we have header ping pong going up and all around the field. Wan-Bissaka drops it back to McTominay. Salah to Jota. Jota out to Trent. Can Liverpool snatch a lead, a sneaky lead before the half? Trent plays a ball through to Salah. Those through balls from Trent obviously are a bit of a forced ball. It's a risky ball, but for the times that it pays off, I'm certainly willing to take that risk and try to play the ball through. Here's Jota trying to wriggle his way through the defense, and again, not every decision Jota has made today has been perfect, but he certainly has been lively, and I think a lot of Liverpool fans will consider him to be our top, one of our top performers of the first half. Yeah, I mean, let me see if I can come up with a quasi team talk. Excuse me. Over halftime, about what I would want to see changes and what to keep the same from from the first half. Very interesting to see Liverpool's 61% possession. I would not have guessed that. I actually probably would have said 60% United. But it is, again, it's kind of a difficult game to really get a gauge on that, because it has been just a lot of transition back and forth, not a whole lot of dilly-dallying, which United are swinging the ball back and forth, and Liverpool have done some of that too, but it kind of has just been retaining the ball up until there's retaining the ball, but always looking for that outlet pass or that through ball, making runs. So it definitely has been somewhat of a frenetic game. Here comes Wan-Bissaka, tries to cross it. Nat Phillips clears it, beautiful. Wijnaldum, Thiago's on the ball, and he gets stripped by Cavani. I think he went through the back of Thiago. I think most refs would have given that foul. But alas, United are in possession. 40th minute here, left side of the field, and that is Bruno, isn't it? Interesting that he's on the left. And Liverpool clear it, but in possession. In case you're wondering about the jersey collection on display today, here's Pogba. Lashes a shot from the left side of the 18, and it goes wide, but not a dangerous shot. And so the jersey collection we have on my body, we've got Stevie McManaman from the 94 season, I believe. Then we've got Sadio Mane, who may or may not be featuring today. Beautiful, love this neon kit. Then we've got nobody on the back of this beauty, also from the 90s, I believe, earlier than this one. And then we've got the current season, which is actually being worn today. And we've got the best defender in the world on the back, Virgil van Dijk. All right, so just a few minutes left here in the half. Liverpool win it high up the pitch. It's Jota, and he gets dispossessed, and he fouls Shaw. So yeah, headed into the half, I would say, starting with the center backs, I think that they've done fine. I think you do grading on a curve, as we always do with Reece Williams and Nat Phillips. Whoa, very strong shove in the back from Wan-Bissaka on Fabinho, and a foul is called. I would like to see Wan-Bissaka talk to, because that was quite a ferocious shove by Wan-Bissaka. I would like to see him talk to and verbally warned on that, but doesn't seem to be the case. But anyway, yeah, I think Phillips and Williams have been quite good. Again, grading on a curve for their abilities and what you can expect from them. Here's Williams just cleaning up what could have been a dangerous counterattack from United had they picked up the ball in the middle of the field. Here's Rashford on the top of the box. He takes a man on and can't get past Wijnaldum, who can't get the ball fully cleared, and it's with Fred to Wan-Bissaka. And here's McTominay with a cross. Williams clear. Robertson has time. Clear it, please. He passes to Firmino. 1-2 back to Robbo. Tries to play it out. Falls to Mo in the middle of the field. Thiago looking for Mo, but it's just way too far of a through ball, and Henderson comes out to clear it. So, yeah, I think one more time, the Liverpool center backs, I think, have been fine today. I think you can see their lack of experience a bit. But I think that they're up for it, and I think that they're, strong when they want to be. They've stepped in and anticipated pretty well. Robbo and Trent have been okay. I think Trent has been way more at the focus of kind of playing those through balls. Robertson's been on the ball a few times, but not super dangerous. He's been kind of playing hopeful balls in, but not the, definitely not the same 10 out of 10 wing backs that we are used to last season. But Robertson, again, playing some balls that maybe just need more synchronized runs too. And we've got 3 minutes left. 3 additional minutes in the first half of stoppage time. Then for the midfield, Wijnaldum really hasn't been a typical Wijnaldum performance. He's been pretty quiet. Defensively, I think he's broken up sort of as like a second line of defense pretty well, some plays. And on possession, kind of just recycled the ball as usual. Bruno is asking for the ball to be put out of play, but it won't be, and I don't think it should be. It's not a head injury. And Liverpool are up on the attack here. Pogba sort of lashes out on Jota there. I think definitely frustrated that the ball wasn't put out of play, and now Bruno, I don't know what he's complaining about. He tries to swing at the ball, and I think he was embarrassed that he whiffed. And he falls down. I don't see what happened there. I don't even know did he break his finger? He landed on his ankle. He seems fine. Why did we stop the game for this? This is garbage. Fabinho, I actually think Fabinho has been a little bit sub Fabinho level today. I think that he hasn't looked as comfortable defensively or even on the ball. A little bit sloppy today, but still a great player and contributing where you can. Thiago has sort of tried to get on the ball. He hasn't done anything super obvious in terms of contributions. Here is Liverpool 30 yards from goal over on the right-hand side. Robbo and Trent standing over it. Everyone lined up on the top of the 18. Back post, and it's Firmino with a goal right at the end of the half. Let's go, baby. Bobby Firmino. Yeah. Let's go, baby. That's what we need. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. In your face, bro. Great ball to the back post. And I don't think there's really much you can do about that. Pogba was trying to stick with Firmino, but he ends up falling down. That's just a good goal right to the back post. I don't know what you can really say about that. I mean, it's perfect placement by Robbo's back post, and Firmino finds it and heads it right top corner near post. And that's what I'm talking about, baby. So, yeah, I mean, it's just going to be halftime. I mean, I think that you got to come out in exactly the same attitude as this half, if not more. I don't think Liverpool don't deserve this lead, but at the same time, I think a lot of people watching this might think, oh, okay, really even half. It could have been 2-1 United. It could have been 2-1 Liverpool. Could be 1-1 still. It will be interesting to kind of see, not that NBC is always, spot on with their opinions or even their stances on things, but it will be interesting because Liverpool going in with this 2-1 lead and having a penalty awarded and taken away, I wonder if the dialogue will even be, oh, that this really could be 3-1. But in any case, it is 2-1. It is halftime. I'm going to take a short break, and then I'll come back in with a bit of my Klopp team talk for halftime. So just sit tight and join me again in a couple minutes. Yes, boys. Well done. It was a great first half. Keep the intensity up. Keep giving it your all. Keep throwing it at him. Nat, well done. Don't worry about the OG. You came back. You got in the box there. You made the equalizer happen. Keep the pressure on, boys. You can't let up. You saw that they can hang with us. They've pulled the goal back. We just gotta keep the pressure on. Can't let up. We have 4 cup finals in a row. Have to win every one of them. And Mo, keep making your runs. Jota, yes, boy. Firmino, get the ball, lay it off, pass, move. You know what to do. Thiago, don't overthink it. Just keep playing those balls in. Get the ball to Trent's feet. Whip those balls in. Come on, boys. And I'm back. We're able to get cameras into the Liverpool locker room there and see a bit of Jurgen's halftime team talk. Yeah, it was quite the coverage that we have here at Beaty's Beat. It is still halftime, and yeah, I mean, great first half from Liverpool, judging a little bit on the playing a little bit of the result there. I mean, I think if it were still 1-1, would I still be saying great first half? I think just about. I think getting there. I think I probably would have said good to very good first half. Again, having the possession, still would want to see some more chances. But, this Liverpool team, regardless of what state or what season we're in, that with Jurgen Klopp as our manager, we're going to be an emotional team. Now, that can be a good or a bad thing, just theory-wise. You can be too emotional and you can ride momentum way too much, and that can cause you to throw games away. But I love it one way or another. I mean, Liverpool have always been exciting under Klopp. We've generally been very, very good too, which helps. But yeah, I mean, he just plays such an exciting brand of football, and that's why he's such a perfect fit for this club, is that he is emotional. He gets the city. All Liverpool fans want to see is passion and effort from their players, and we're getting that. And for so far today, it's been enough. Still a huge half of football to go. And hopefully Liverpool can not only hold on, but extend this lead and hopefully make it a bit more comfortable as we finish the game, because this is extremely important for us. And really all United are playing for is Pride Day. Again, they lost to Leicester, so City have clinched the league. Not a whole lot going on across the league outside of the top 4 race, because you've got 3 teams relegated. You've got your champion anointed. So congrats to City. And yeah, I mean, what is everybody else playing for? I don't think anybody is actually interested in any sort of Europa League race. So we won't even get into that. I won't even fake, having knowledge on what the permutations are there. But yeah, I mean, I was going to say it's been a great season. It hasn't been a great season, but that's the beauty of the Premier League, that even when it's not great, it's still pretty great in terms of a product. In that we've got Man United versus Liverpool, a huge rivalry. And again, even if United have nothing on the line, they have a lot on the line because it is pride, it is tradition. You got Liverpool playing for our Champions League lives, and I'll come back to that in a second. But then, you got Chelsea playing Leicester, not only in the FA Cup, which obviously can't be planned, but then on Tuesday in the Premier League, they're neck and neck for the top 4 race. There's only 2 games left. Thiago's standing over the ball, so I'll get my clock ready here. And we're about to kick off. I don't think that there have been any changes. Very interestingly, we've got Fabinho and Trent on the center circle. So it looks like Liverpool, I doubt highly that Trent will be playing center midfield. It looks like he is. So who's back right there then? Let us see here. Anyway, I was saying, oh, he is back, right? Maybe he was just pinching in and kind of like shifting as maybe he thought the ball was on the left-hand side. You got people out there that have always been clamoring for Trent to play in the middle of the park. Obviously, very important player for Liverpool, and I think the reasons for that are that I think he played in the center of the park for the youth level. I myself would. Oh, and Trent has the ball. He's inside the 18. I missed it there briefly. I apologize, but Trent won the ball. It must have been a giveaway, and he was darting towards goal. And here's Trent again, who's got it, and it's a third. It's Bobby Firmino. It's a Firmino type of day, baby. And there it is, 1 minute into the second half, and it is 3-1 for the Reds. Oh, what a beauty. Horror show from the United back line. And there it is. 3-1. Lindelof tries to get rid of it. Oh, this is right before Shaw starts running out in the middle of the field. Jota slows it down, plays it out to Trent. Trent takes a shot right at Henderson's chest, who saves it like this, and it just bounces right to Bobby, who, oh, what a beautiful finish. Wasn't the easiest, but he made it look easy. He plays it right into the ground. That's such a typical Bobby finish. And Bobby gives a little one of these. Oh, let's go. 3-1 Liverpool. It's got to be our day. It's got to be our day. And I've done it a few times too many on this stream, but I really feel great right now. And I don't want to count chickens before they hatch, but if we win this game, which is already getting a little ahead of myself, I want to know the person that would put money against Liverpool not winning out the rest of the season with the weak fixtures that we do have left. But I'm going to try and maintain my focus here. And United might start coming apart at the seams here. Fred fouls, and he's gesturing towards the ref, and he will get a yellow. Wow, what a start. Well, Fred was the one gesturing, but it actually was Beaty who came in on the challenge, and about right. I mean, he's been quite lively and surrounded by controversy this game already. Oh, and Jota is down. He seemed to be holding his foot, and I thought it was just a, oh, that ouch, that hurt type of thing, but trainers are on the field, so hopefully a bone didn't pop loose or something like that. And he gets up. He looks like he's going to be able to walk it off. But anyway, what was I saying before that? I came in from the halftime break, and I was saying what? Thiago on the ball. Swings it over to Reece, to Nat Phillips. I was talking about Liverpool's remaining fixtures. Got 3 left. Oh, this was coming out of halftime. And as much as how much faith I have in Liverpool to get the job done, fingers crossed through the end of the season, I did have a chat with, in fact, I'll text this gentleman now to see if he's still feeling the way he was. Anyway, the thought out there that is it the worst thing if Liverpool don't finish in the Champions League places for next season? Surely there's the money component. I think that's really where this argument falls apart before I even really announce it. The premise that is it the worst thing if we don't have the Champions League next season, because then we can just focus on the Premier League? And sure, there is the money component, but just to run with this theory for just a second, honestly, everyone wants to be in the Champions League, but if you don't win it, does it really matter? Now, again, people will say, yeah, you get 100 million pounds for being, I don't know the figures, but there's that. And then as well as recruitment, and even player retention, if that's a concern of your teams. If you're not in the Champions League, can you hold on to these type of players? Or can you sign players? And then, back in the Brendan Rodgers days, that was the whole conundrum. Like, well, how do you sign players to get into the Champions League? Because you need to sign players that are of that caliber, but you can't attract those players because I want a ball through to Rashford, and whoever that was, I think it was Robbo trying to track with him, tried to volley it on the turn, bit of an awkward one, and he misses. And it probably would have been a little bit of trouble because Rashford did get a piece of it, didn't quite bring it under control, but slowed the ball down. But Alisson came out quickly to nab it up. Yeah, but Liverpool's not in that situation that, I referenced back in 2015, we need to sign these type of players. Emre Can isn't good enough. Skirtle isn't good enough, blah, blah, blah. And then you get a player like Suarez that's honestly better than your team. But is he alone good enough? Him and Coutinho, is Coutinho consistent enough? And then when you have those type of players, then they get too big for their boots, or they kind of outgrow the club. At least that's the way they see it. Again, that's not really where Liverpool are right now. But the point is for those of you that think Liverpool need, or even if you just are a Liverpool fan that wants a player like Jadon Sancho or what the hell, Erling Haaland, will they come to a team that doesn't have Champions League? And I think most people would probably agree with you, including myself. Although who knows, does Jurgen Klopp have the charm and frankly just the best coach in the world, in my eyes, and I think probably quite a few players' eyes, that he would be the draw, that players just would want to work with him, either just out of want alone and or player development reasons. But anyway, yeah, I think unfortunately, if things don't pan out this season, it is something that we might need to come to terms with in terms of, all right, we're not in the Champions League. But I think if that is the case, the coming to terms with that reality is that, okay, yeah, you're not in the competition, but you very rarely, no matter what team you are, even if you're Real Madrid, the team that's won it most in history, you have to get used to not winning the Champions League. It's a difficult league to win. So if you're not in it for one season, and you can focus on the Premier League, which honestly, if you ask Liverpool fans, I think most of them would agree with me that I would wish to win the Premier League. I strongly would want to win the Premier League first before the Champions League, just because we've only had one in the last 30 years, and I do think that is a true testament to the greatest team that year and longest league and yada yada. So if you were to only compete in the Premier League, obviously Liverpool, do we have a strong squad? I don't even know what our squad is going to be. So again, a yada yada situation. Some Liverpool fans would tell you that we don't have the strongest squad right now, with Firmino and Mane not at the peak of their powers, Wijnaldum leaving the club, Thiago being a question mark of a fit, and obviously center back depth depending on injuries. Ball over the top by United, and I think there would have been, and there is an offside flag, but they were pretending that there was no such thing as offside for a little while, such as VAR, and Rashford was making the run. Alisson was coming out to the top of his box, who probably could have just taken a step back and caught the ball, but of course he's our Brazilian goalkeeper, so he heads it, and it was fine, and then the flag goes up. But that was an interesting. Jota, long ball by Alisson on that offside kick up to Eric Bailly, and I don't think Liverpool players particularly like Eric Bailly because Jota put in a very forceful aerial challenge to Bailly and kind of pushed him to the floor legally, according to Anthony Taylor. So yeah, Anthony Taylor, I do think most of the decisions, again, call me biased, have gone against Liverpool. But that is a little bit of evidence that maybe Mr. Taylor is just kind of feeding into the spirit of the Northwest clash, and maybe being a bit more lenient when it comes to physical play. Yeah. Liverpool in possession, Wijnaldum. So, yeah, do let me know your thoughts as far as let's just go with if and not play probabilities, Liverpool were to not make the Champions League. Oh, and Rashford goes down in a heap after a late challenge by Reece Williams, but the ball was sort of going in one direction. Reece Williams was favored to win that ball, and he clips Rashford's ankle. He goes down, and it's not a foul, but it's given, and Rashford makes the most of it, and he gets up and he's trotting away and he's fine. Anyway, so yeah, how receptive are you to that that mentality if we don't make the Champions League? C'est la vie. It is what it is. It's unfortunate. None of us wish for that scenario, but with the injuries and, listen, we have the best coach in the world, Jurgen Klopp. He did his absolute best, and if his best is 5th place, it sucks. But we're just gonna have to live with one season in the Premier League. And I hate to draw comparisons with such a loathsome club, but Chelsea have finished 7th one year and shot right up the table to 1st the next, I think in 2 separate occasions, actually. So, please swing it, Bobby, to Jota, and Jota's got to bury this for 4-1. Oh, and he hits the post. Oh, he had hours of time and space on the left-hand side. He had to have finished that one. But he hits the post, And as long as we keep a clean sheet in the second half, we can forgive it. But yeah, I mean, I think that could even be a poll question. If Liverpool were to only be in the Premier League, obviously would be in the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, but who cares about that? If you were to only be in the Premier League, would you say that would you feel stronger about us finishing in a higher position than if we had Champions League football as a distraction? Obviously, Champions League is probably the fiercest competition in the world, and as such, you're going to expend a lot of energy doing that. Travel, everyone always says travel, but those added games and whatnot. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's just putting a spin on things, but we shall see. I guess we'll just have to be patient and enjoy the last 3 games or 2 games, depending on what club you are in the Premier League season. And Rashford cuts inside on Trent. Trent just turns, gets in his way, and he feels like bodied him off the ball. And Rashford goes down in a heap. Not really sure what to make of that. Most people would probably say it was a foul. I think Rashford goes down pretty easily. But at the same time, Trent did sort of go out of his own path to block the path for Rashford inside. So it's going to be a United free kick on the left-hand side, about 30 yards goal, and Shaw's over it, swings it in, back post. Reece Williams heads it clear, at least for now. And Jota's really going in hard on Pogba, and he wins the duel, wins the ball. And here's Salah. Oh, he's about running free, then drops it off to Firmino, which kind of stunts our counterattack. And Wan-Bissaka gives it back to Liverpool. And it's Salah who plays through Trent, who has a left-footed shot in on Henderson, who spills it. Henderson really has not been holding on. He hasn't had the sticky fingers today. But there we go. I mean, chalk that up. I mean, you got to look at the XG for today. I mean, particularly in the second half, I feel like our XG has probably been like 1.6 or something like that. Or excuse me, I meant 1.6 for the chances that we haven't finished. So, yeah, I mean, Liverpool really could have more goals, which is a good and bad thing, depending on how you look at it. You got to finish these chances, but at the same time, sometimes those chances just don't come. Salah bodying the ball near the corner flag gets a shove in the back unfairly, but he stands his ground, which not every player does, Rashford. But then he plays the ball towards the middle of the field, and United have a goal kick. Fred is being taken off for Greenwood. Oh no, forgive me, my clock has stopped. 60. Oh wait, I gotta do this. Actually, let me try this. Try this on the fly. 63. All right, so United have a goal kick, and I'm just setting my clock here, and we're back. Synced. All good. Oh man. Bruno Fernandes has captain's armband today. A bit of surprise to me. And Ole will not like this one. I can just tell that he will be ruining this loss. Not that it really directly impacts United, whether Liverpool make the Champions League or not, but again, just for the sake of the rivalry, you have to think that Ole will not be too pleased with handing Liverpool back a favor. As we await a corner, Anthony Taylor is talking to Bruno. I'm not really sure about what. Oh, and he's screaming at the fact that Fabinho went up with a challenge and just clipped his foot. I think the ref's telling him that he has to stop screaming every time that his foot comes in contact with anything but a ball. Bruno Fernandes from the left back position plays a diagonal ball over to Greenwood, who settles and tries to play Cavani through. And Robertson closes him down for a corner kick 66 minutes into the game. And Liverpool are looking pretty good. Ball played in, and it looked a little scary for a second because it looked like McTominay was most likely to get the ball. Mo Salah just brings it down to his feet after bringing it down from about 20 yards in the air, and he dribbles forwards right through the center. Thiago plays Jota through. Spidey legs Wan-Bissaka makes a really nice sliding challenge to not let Jota through. And United are playing the ball out of the back as Fabinho has a high press situation going on with Pogba. Pogba passes out of it. United are kind of just playing their way up the field, and Rashford's through on goal, and that's going to skirt in for a 3-2 situation. Liverpool need to be very careful right now. That was a nicely worked United goal. A little bit way too easy, I will say, from Liverpool's perspective. They kind of just went straight up the field, and we had our Liverpool back four kind of in good position. And then as play was happening, it's sort of like there were Liverpool players around, but not really defending super well. And they go straight through, and credit to Rashford for pretty well experienced what I would say chance creation for himself as well as finish. He picked up the ball about 30 yards from goal or 25 yards from goal, had to sort of beat his man who was still with him, kind of just fend him off, and then left-footed finish past Allison towards the far post, and it just squeaked in right off the post. But very good finish. You gotta have a great striker's vision and finish there. Here comes Trent racing through the middle of the field, takes a strike, and it's doesn't really get his full weight behind it as that kind of soared over. Typically, Trent, you expect a frozen rope, but a little bit too much under that. But good to see that attacking intent. We gotta close this out. If not, again, get a cushion goal. And I will be right back. Hopefully I don't miss anything. Sorry, I'm back. And oh my goodness, I did miss quite the action. United very, very nearly equalized. Double chance for Greenwood. Ball played within the 18-yard box to the back post where Greenwood had a finish. It was right on the ground, going to go in, but cleared off the line by Nat Phillips. Nat Phillips, a very active participant in today's game, center of a lot of the action. And it was cleared off the line by Nat, and then as it was blocked, Greenwood got his own rebound, took another shot, and it was blocked by one or two defenders and out for a corner. Liverpool got the ball. What I was just reacting to a split second ago was a ball played up to Jota, who was jostling with, I believe it was Wan-Bissaka, who kind of wrestled Jota to the ground, but Anthony Taylor waves him up. Not interested in the protests. Different kind of protests. Andy Robbo has the ball, tries to play it upfield. It is blocked by Wan-Bissaka, and Wan-Bissaka wins a corner. He kind of, again, Anthony Taylor very lenient today here with Wan-Bissaka. I don't know necessarily that it was a foul, but he kind of pushes Robertson into the ball, and it squirts out for a corner. But if Wan-Bissaka didn't, nudge him or, kind of push him a bit, little soft. What I'm saying is a little soft for a foul, but without that little bit of a push, it wouldn't go out for a corner. Luckily, Liverpool don't concede. And here's a ball through for Salah, who's been somewhat quiet today. He makes a diagonal run through. I think that was Thiago that played him into space. Nice give and go over the course of about 40 yards as Salah darts forward into the left-hand side of the box, takes a flashing shot, but not on target. Here's a double change for Liverpool. You're going to see Curtis come on and Sadio Mane for Gini Wijnaldum, who gives the captain's armband to Trent, I believe. And Jota going to come off for Mane, as I mentioned. Nat Phillips wins a header. What else is new? Sadio Mane gets his first touches and plays it to Thiago, who uncharacteristically gets dispossessed by Cavani. Liverpool really need to be on our toes here. Not saying we're getting lazy or complacent or anything, but normal focus just isn't going to be good enough because United players do seem hungry. They want to spoil our day. Thiago gets on the ball, passes it to Mo Salah. Mo Salah out to Sadio Mane. 74 minutes into the game. Mane slips and tries to play a through ball. Mane's poor form, poor luck continues as he gives away possession. Kurt Jones, the Scouse Warrior, puts some pressure on United and dispossesses them. Liverpool can't maintain possession. It gets over to Bruno, who gives it to Liverpool. Trent plays a beautiful ball to Sadio, who's through on goal, and if he were just an inch taller, he would have been able to touch the ball past Henderson, who was coming out from his line, and he would have been able to roll it into an empty net. We really hope that Liverpool do not rue any chances not taken. It is 3-2. it could take anything. It could take the most beautiful goal of all time from United, or it could take a bounce off of both posts and somebody's ass and in. Doesn't matter. It's still going to hurt all the same. But let's not think like that. Rashford making a darting run down the left. He skins Nat Phillips and tries to take a shot from a very acute angle on the left, but it is out for a goal kick. Allison had to pretty calmly watch it go past his near post and into the favorable side netting. Out for a goal kick. Yeah, that was a nice ball by Trent, and really nice kick save and a Butte. Again, Henderson, I think, even got lucky there because he wasn't even spreading himself too much. He just kind of like slid, and then his foot happened to be there. And I would say the ball hit his foot. But listen, you gotta make yourself big. You gotta make the block if you're the keeper, because if you come for it and you get beaten, then it's the easiest goal ever. Cavani out to Rashford. Rashford's been very dangerous the last 20 minutes. Shot by Bruno Fernandes, top of the 18, and Fabinho, who's not looking at the ball, turns his body and it hits him in the arm. And I'm sorry, I think it was it Thiago or Fabinho? In either case, United are going to have a free kick at the top of the D. It was Thiago, but ref, the two unintentional handballs in the first half were not given because they were unintentional. This is a natural position. I see how this is no different than either of the scenarios in the first half. I'm going to be super upset if this amounts to a United goal here, because this same end of the pitch, and Anthony Taylor decides to award this one. It's Bruno and Rashford over it. Liverpool, Allison getting his wall ready. There are 5 men, 5.5 men, 6 men in the wall. You've got Thiago laying down beneath the wall. And it's up and not bothering anyone by Bruno, but still very upset by that reffing call. Terrible decision, especially in the context of the same game. It's one thing if you want, this isn't a situation where I'm comparing one game to another and I'm just saying, oh, we just want refereeing consistency. I just want refereeing consistency in the same damn game by the same ref. He didn't pull a hamstring and they subbed another ref in. This is the same guy in the first half that waved away 2 blatant but unintentional handballs for United. Very frustrating. Anyway, Liverpool still have 12 plus minutes to play, and Curtis Jones on the ball. A little bit of a not confident touch, and McTominay with a late challenge on, I believe, Fabinho. And that is not a nice looking one, not the worst contact, but it was a bit late and a bit high and grazed the outside of Fabinho's shin. We in today's game don't like that. It's yellow. I guess you want to discourage that. And that's got to be a foul by United. And Anthony Taylor waves it away. Mane's legs get taken out from the back, whether it's, again, intentional or not. You brought this player to the ground who was rushing onto the ball. Now it's just getting chippy. McTominay with another foul, I believe, on. And then McTominay puts his arms around Mane and then tries to pull it away very quickly. That was clever by McTominay. But that could have been a second yellow and a foul right outside the box. Here comes Firmino on the left side of the box. Dispossessed by Bruno, and we got to watch it here. This is where United can hurt us with counter-attack, but Nat Phillips, comfortable in possession, swings it over to the left-hand side of the field where, surprisingly, Trent is. He plays the diagonal ball to the right towards Salah. Salah doesn't get it, but Thiago does. And Thiago wins a throw-in off of Pogba. So we're 80 minutes in. We have 10 minutes for Liverpool to close out the game. Please, Lord, let us finish this game out with a win for Liverpool. And Salah is in the box, juggling it with Lindelof on his back. Lindelof applies just enough pressure to dispossess the Liverpool remaining fixtures. West Brom, Burnley, both away, and then Palace at home. So there is Robbo playing the ball up to Firmino, and Firmino gets a little bit of a bump from Beaty, but legally so. Wan-Bissaka has the ball, chips it up to McTominay, and McTominay plays it off of his countryman, Andy Robertson, and it is a United throw-in. Curious if anybody saw the second Liverpool leaked away kit that we've seen so far. It looks like this. Hopefully this comes through. Looking very beautiful. A lot of people commenting that they don't like the blue collar, but I love it. It looks absolutely fantastic. I really hope that that comes to be. But from the upcoming fixtures to next season's kit, I'm jumping from two things that I shouldn't be focusing on just yet, but that kit looks beautiful. Looks a bit of a cream colored, if not white. Either way, I would love it. I don't really know how the blue comes in. I know Liverpool fans get very sensitive anytime there's any sort of blue involved, because we don't do that at Liverpool Football Club. Of course, with Everton crosstown rivals, the red and the blue don't mix, but I'm fine with it. Looks great. "83 minutes. McTominay on the ball, plays it up to Rashford, who's running in, and he goes to ground. I think just is exasperated. Anthony Taylor wags his finger at it. Sir Alex Ferguson in the crowd today. Fabinho back to Reece, back to Allison. No crazy business, please. Just yes, up the field. Very good. Looking for Mo Salah. Luke Shaw does win possession. He's bringing it up the left-hand side. He tries to play it up, and Nat Phillips heads it out for a throw-in. Nemanja Matic getting ready. Not really sure what he will bring towards the end of this game. I think he's banged in a couple like Essien-like strikes in his career, but outside of that, not really any sort of attacking player. Thiago tries to juggle the ball past Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw goes down. I think most refs would have called a foul, but there's no foul. Salah darts inside, plays it out right to Firmino, who slices it behind, and Klopp is going like this. He wants the intensity, doesn't care about the mistake. That's right. Just move on, move past it. That's exactly, it's been a while since I've seen Klopp like that. I feel like we used to have a lot of that in 2017, 2018 when things didn't go our way. Klopp is right there to back the boys and say, yes, more of what we've been doing. Don't worry about the missed shot. Don't worry about the missed cross, whatever. It's fine. Edinson Cavani getting a yellow card with Thiago on the ground and a United player trying to peel him up, And, yep, that's a yellow card right there. Cavani, the ball's slipping away from him. He just lunges his body at Thiago. And I think Thiago's right to, be in a bit of pain on that. Stephen Mate says, hold. He's lacking legs nowadays. Who might that be? Who's lacking? Nemanja Matic? I would think so. Also, any opportunity to get a little jibe in on a serve, huh, Mate? Fabinho out to the left-hand side towards Sadio, and Wan-Bissaka gets it. Again, not the best Fabinho performance today, I will say. Hasn't been horrible, but again, according to his standards. Handball by Cavani, please. Ref. Yes, Stevie Matic. Mate, sorry. He says Matic. Yeah, look at that. What is that? Cavani, he's playing target man. He's up on the top of the box. He goes to chest the ball, and he goes like this. By the way, ref, he's on a yellow card. And he was letting play go on, just like an offside, let's see what happens here. And then United shoot, and it's out for a goal kick, and then I think he calls a handball. You saw the handball. Just give it. Mane gets dispossessed. Mane, I will say that is not a foul. But Mane just looking a little slight for that challenge with Wan-Bissaka. Again, this has been a very physical game. What's it called? Very physical game. And the ref is letting a lot of things go. In some cases, I like to see it. Make the game a little bit more physical. Ball towards the back post, and Bruno was running onto it. A little bit of a scare for a second there. But it goes out for a goal kick, and we are at the 88th minute mark. And we shall see how much time is going to be added for stoppage, as Liverpool need to see this game out if we want any hope of getting the Champions League. Congratulations, Stevie, on your City Boys winning the league. It was a quite impressive outpouring of support outside the Etihad on Tuesday evening, where I believe Sky Sports reported dozens of City fans race to the Etihad to celebrate their title win. They might clap back and say, we've won so many titles in the last 10 years that it's just not even worth celebrating anymore. Out for a United throw-in, Shaw to Matic. Thiago applying a bit of pressure. McTominay out right-hand side to Wan-Bissaka. Stevie says 3 championship trophy emojis. He loves it. I'm sure he'll be looking forward to insert date here. I always like May 25th because May 25th was 2005 Istanbul. But whenever that Champions League final is with Chelsea, that should be a good one for sure. But for now, we've got 1 minute left in regulation, and I think it's Curtis Jones plays Mo Salah throwing a breakaway. Can we get that 4th goal? And Mo Salah, seals it away. Woohoo! Let's go. Mo Salah loves a 90th minute goal against United, doesn't he, baby? Woo! 4-2, baby. Up the Reds, up the turquoise blues, up the teals. Let's go. Too tall for this celebration. Let's go, baby. 4-2. That's it. Had to be the Liverpool way. Had to get that heart rate up. Thank you, Mo Salah. What a speed demon, and the goal is gaping when you're Mo Salah. and the goalkeeper just shrivels up. He's on a breakaway. He can go left. He can go right. He can scoop it over you, under you. Doesn't matter. And here's the Klopp celebration. Woo! Love it. Love it. Love it. There it is. Now you can put 10 minutes on the clock. We really don't care. We'll sink it in. We'll savor it. Last 10 minutes of stoppage time. Let's go, baby. All right, here we go. Bruno in possession. There are going to be 4 minutes on the clock. How are you doing today, Steve? How was the day? Nico Williams getting prepared, giving a little dap up to Mr. Klopp, and he will probably come on for Trent, who has been spinning his wheels quite a bit today. You've got Trent, Nat, and Trent tries to play it upfield, and his England or former England teammate, how does that work? Rashford blocks it, and it's out for a throw-in. It is Mo Salah off for Nico Williams. Well done. 4-2. What a beautiful performance this is for Jurgen's men. And you know that that confidence is just going to be pouring into Liverpool's veins, regardless of our lineup for the remaining 3 fixtures. Again, that is and that puts Mo Salah tied for the Golden Boot, I believe, with Harry Kane. It was just Garth Crooks saying earlier in the week that Mo's obsession with the Golden Boot or ambition for the Golden Boot is putting a distraction on the Liverpool team. Very fanciful way to put a spin that Mo is having a negative influence on the Liverpool team. Anytime Liverpool are not doing so well, it's want away Mo, isn't it? Big win, no doubt, says Steve. That is correct, sir. Thank you for tuning in. I'll be seeing you in about a week's time. Should be great. Captain Trent Alexander-Arnold. There he is. There's 1 minute left. Thank you all for tuning in today. It's been a great Liverpool performance. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer looking pretty what do you call that? Looking pretty dejected there, staring off. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to put a full red light on Liverpool's Champions League hopes. I can almost guarantee you that he would have said something about that in the post-match had United won today. Typically, coaches don't really mess around in the media with stuff like that, but I think with that really would have been Liverpool's Champions League hopes down the drain if we hadn't won today. And I think Ole really would have delighted in putting a damper on that. And here's Rashford, who almost carbon copy of his first United second is played through on goal. All the time is up. That is it. The final whistle goes. Big win for Jurgen's men, and he gives a first hug to Mo Salah, and he's dapping up all of the United staff as the gentleman that he is. That puts Liverpool into 5th place on 60 points, 1 game in hand. Chelsea are in 4th on 64. Leicester in 3rd with 66. And as I said, they will be playing on Tuesday. And Liverpool, I suppose you can expect to see me on, what is that, Saturday or Sunday against West Brom. And Liverpool will have to go again on their march towards Champions League qualification Sunday at 11:30 a.m. New Jersey time. and that game will be on NBC, SN, up the Reds. Woo! There it is.